Daiva Asuri Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Daiva Asuri Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. So we have seen that humans can have different qualities, particularly classified into two, Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. The aim of our life should be to to possess that Daivi Sampat. Sampat means wealth. Daivi means like Deva Devatas. They are pure, considered to be pure. Whenever they have fought, of course, here and there, some of them have shown, but by and large, Devata Swabhava is considered to be pure and very good natured, which helps human to live in harmony with himself and with the world outside. And why it is called as wealth? Because it is a big treasure. See, today, if we possess some wealth, we may live for this life. That also we are not sure, because if you see this money, power, and luxury, everything is transient. Many times people may continue to live in whatever they have earned, but we have also seen how in a matter of very short time everything is lost. What if there is an earthquake? What if there is some loss in the business? Or what if they lose their position? What if the person has earned through some other illegal ways and suddenly it goes? So wealth is not going to stay forever. What stays forever is these Daivi Sampat. This wealth is very, very, um, it is permanent, and that is one thing. This wealth has to be accumulated because it stays with you forever. Nobody can take your good quality, isn't it? If you are kind, kindness is your property. Anybody else also can be kind, but that kindness belongs to him. I cannot snatch, or it will not fall down. Any virtues, they grow in exponentially if we put continuous effort. There is no question of the virtues, falling back, or a person reversing. If he's continuously putting an effort, that becomes his permanent property for this life. And if he develops that habit of being kind, all those 26 qualities, today we are concluding this chapter. So those 26 qualities which Krishna has described as Daivi Sampat, they are treasures. They are the highest treasure which anybody can possess. And it lives with him throughout his life, and it lives with him till his liberation. Second point is, it lives with him till liberation, because whatever Daivi Sampat we have accumulated, it continues in our next birth also. That is the beauty of this Daivi Sampat. If we put our efforts in this direction to become a good human being and to follow whatever Krishna is saying, then that he is actually blessing us. It's his grace that is guiding us in this direction, because this will elevate us and it will continue to progress in the next life from where we stopped. For example, this every day I will tell myself during my meditation, I should not overreact. I should not get angry. Anger means overreaction. Most of the times we can manage without getting angry. So what if I pray and if I practice, if I become aware, every day if I do that, my entire life, if I concentrate on gaining control over my anger, that lives with me because it creates that subconscious impressions. It goes into my subtle body. And when I leave this body, the subtle body carries all these efforts to my next birth. We don't know about physical attributes, but these mental attributes are, as told by Krishna. And if you look at it rationally also, every individual is different in evolution. That means his efforts have been there. Just as we have different individuals performing differently in the classroom, we are all teachers. So when we see our students performing, some put very hard work, and that is seen in the way they perform. When we ask questions or when they appear for examinations, they perform better because they have worked hard. Likewise, if you see any matured person, little less maturity, sub-matured and totally immature, All that reflects on how much effort that individual has put in improving himself. When he looked at his environment and he learned something, he said, I should not be like this, I should improve myself. Then that starts, developing. And then automatically, when that desire to change comes from him, then there will be the universe conspires, they say, no? The universe will start showing the way. He will meet different people. He will get hold of Bhagavad Gita. He will listen to good lectures on YouTube. So that again aids him to grow further. So this is what we are actually supposed to develop. And that is the aim of life. Aim of life is to evolve. And this one gives actually great deal of happiness, and also there will not be ambiguity in taking decisions or whatever we do. No, we don't feel insecure, we don't feel hesitant, we are more confident. We may not be very perfect, we are not liberated people, but that gives us definitely more confidence, and that makes our life better. That we call it as a higher quality of life. The QOL, which we talk about, social, physical, mental, along with that spiritual well-being is also health, isn't it? So this gives us a state of spiritual well-being, and therefore we must put an effort to acquire this Daivi Sampat. Before I go to the last two shlokas for today's topic, another thing we must understand is one is this classification. I repeat this: Asuri, Daivi. Asuri is demoniac and Daivi is divine. They are not absolute. As we said, a person will not be completely divine or completely Asuri. Even an evolved person can fall down sometime. So there must be a constant effort and awareness and a conscious effort. Constant effort. Conscious effort means being aware. Having said that, each of these qualities also are not absolute. For example, this I have actually, it was a very interesting lecture by Anantacharya in Kannada. Very nicely he has told every quality. He has given 6 videos on chapter 16. So his statements are that you should use them in a very judicious way. Krodha, for example, or Satya, truth. Let us take one of them is truth. Truth doesn't mean at any cost I will speak truth. It's not like that. They say, even Bananjay Govindacharya also says that. Krishna also says, he has used that in Purana, Bhagavad Purana and another Purana they have mentioned. So, supposing you want to save some good people from bad people, and you speak, he gives a story also. There is a Rishi, and usually the kind people, good people are very soft and sober. They come and hide in his ashram. And some great, these gangsters like people come rushing there on the horse. Then they will ask him, they have respect for that Rishi. Did somebody come here? They say some names. Did these people come here? Ordinary people, but good people, Sajjanara. Says, no, I did not see anybody. Nobody came here. Then those people, they Durjanara, means bad people, you can say, who had come to murder these people, kill them for some property or something. But Rishi knows that these are bad people, those are good people. So he tells lie to protect good people. So he's not harming them. He's protecting the good people. So when we need to protect dharma, protect good people, telling lies is not a bad thing. Only Satya is not absolute. That means always come what may. Rishi could have told, no, why should I speak lie? Let them do. No, they are sitting inside. And they would have killed them and they would have gone. But the Rishi took the risk of telling lies to protect those good people. So like that, Krishna says, and the inner meaning or by commentators is, we must use this Daivi Sampat intelligently. And in a way, and what is the criteria whenever we want to use? See whether it protects the dharma, whether it protects the system, whether it is in the larger interest. Any decision, no, whenever it comes, whether self or outside, we must see Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya. Very famous statement of Upanishads and Swami Vivekananda. Any decision you take, whether in your department or in the patients from the patient's perspective, or society, or in the family, whether this decision is going to be in the larger interest. In that process, if one or two are hurt or sacrificed, no problem. But the larger people should be benefited. So that is what it means. Of course, this is contextual, but dharma, basically, it is you have to decide case by case whether I should speak, my speaking truth will hurt somebody or it will protect the adharmis, it will protect the people who are manipulative. Yet I will speak truth, not required. You should not speak, you should protect the dharma. That is what it says. All the qualities must be used in the similar manner. And this was appealing to me because it makes sense for us to live kshama also. Excuse, forgiving. Don't forgive bad people. Bad people who ದುಷ್ಕರ್ಮಿಗಳು ದುರ್ಜನರು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕ್ಷಮ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ದು ಅಂತ. You should not forgive everybody except those real Rishi sannyasis who have reached. No, for them, as we said, for them everything is like, they sustain, they will not bother. ಪಾಪ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗಳು, ನಾವು ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್, and even though we are spiritual seekers, we should try to forgive as much as possible. But if they are very bad people, dushkarmi anta heltare, bad people who are not doing good for something, you excuse them, they will again repeat it. So if we are in a position to take action, and we are strong, we should be strong rather, to not to excuse them and to show them the way. So this is how using Daivi Sampat is also a knowledge. We must be conscious in practicing this and using it judiciously. That was very interesting thing which I heard today, so I thought I should share with you. So we know that there are 26 good qualities of Daivi Sampat, and there are about 10 to 12, but very powerful. Asuri Sampat means that is also a Sampat, that also we will carry. Both we carry with us. But they are very powerful, and therefore we must be very careful and conscious and not get carried away to when the mind is guiding us or pulling us, because we are all under the influence of the sense organs, the mind, and our buddhi also, discriminative intelligence also gets carried away. That is because we know there is something called Maya. Maya is an illusion. Some system is there. That is also an energy. Like divine energy, there is an opposing energy called Maya. It will play. There is a game between the pure consciousness and the Maya. It will try to pull us downwards. We must become aware and get connected to the consciousness so that we become aware, this is Maya, she is pulling me. It's used in a feminine, as a feminine gender. So she's pulling me, it's distracting me, I should come back. And that comes when we regularly become aware through meditation or divine connection, in whichever way we call it. So we had stopped at this point that these Asuri, what happens to the Daivi? They are born in, if we developed Daivi Sampat, we live with a high quality of life. If there is spiritual well-being, there is mental well-being, mental in turn physical and social, everything comes. All the branches, components of health are taken care. And highest is spiritual. Not only that, next also it carries. And then our future is decided by our decision now, where we want to go. Awareness, so hard work. I really want to work on this. And whatever work we are doing becomes a tool to develop this. Giving a lecture, giving a teaching, whatever attitude with which we work, this determines how we acquire this Daivi Sampat. So similarly, Asuri Sampat also. So Krishna says, Asuri, they keep taking birth in the family of idiots, Moodha, Janmani. Not only they are away from liberation, liberation means attaining Krishna. Liberation means attaining that bliss. We become one with the energy. There is no formless state, absolute bliss where there is no rebirth. And it's a state of ultimate happiness. It is a state beyond happiness. So they will not get that. And they keep on getting lives after lives. And that also, Adhamam Gatim. they get the lower births. People who live in, who are again in a very Asuri environment, they may go into lower species also. And he says that why us this happens is when people are obsessed with lust and greed and anger, then these are the three gateways to hell. And definitely uh, they have invited themselves to hell because of these three Asuri qualities: excessive lust, excessive greed. Greed is excessive only, always. Greed is not good. Excessive desire. So, these three things, if a person avoids, then he will not attain this state. Rather than that, let him improve. Acharati atmanaha shreyaha. What is good for me? That he should start thinking, and then he should, then he will attain me. Attain me, andre no, attaining tataha yati param gatim. Para means absolute. Happiness and sorrow. These are the dual nature of the mind, state of mind. Mind is either happy or in sorrow. There are, I mean, there is no other state as of now for an ordinary person. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. We must understand that when we are sad, this is not going to be lasting long. Happiness will come. When you are happy, that time also we should be aware. Unfortunately, we want to be always in a state of happiness. We don't want sorrow, we want happiness. But Krishna has designed the whole system in such a way. Why are you aspiring for this short lived happiness? Come, grow beyond this. I will give you bliss. Bliss is a state, third state of mind, which is the ultimate. That is called in philosophical terms Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Anand. Always you are, because at that time you will look at happiness and sorrow, good and bad, everything from the same platform, because you'll realize that God, divine energy is there in everything, and I should become divine. That is Param Gatim. Whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to take us, to lead us there. It will take lot of time, but then we must start putting our efforts. So that he says that if you give up lust, excessive, have little desire, and be aware, control it. Have greed is absolutely not good. Anger wherever required, and use a Daivi Sampath wherever required, with an awareness. That awareness is required. Constantly we must become aware of awareness. We should become that I should become awareness, and the awareness is become. So that takes us to, anyways, the little, if we put even little step, then towards that, if our mind starts thinking, then from within comes the grace or that energy. This is the arrangement. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Little, if you speak in this conventional, traditional way, little effort, one step. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Trayate mahato bhayat. Trayate means little you put, it will take you out of that fear, and it will pull. That means it will gain a momentum. It will gain a momentum. That is the arrangement, that system. Consciousness is tapped. When we put more effort in this direction, it will start flowing, and you will find that little effort I have become so energetic, so enthusiastic, and my mind is so blissful, and I don't want to enter into negative or lower thinking. I am enjoying this. This is the earliest taste of bliss. So that's how it happens. Now he says, Yah Shastra Vidhim Utsruj, sorry, यः शास्त्रविधिम् उत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिम् अवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम् तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तम् कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि. So Krishna comes to one last statement now. One thing he said, give up the lust, give up the greed, give up the krodha, and kama, krodha, lobha. And we also said there are other three siblings of these three, or relatives or friends, whatever you say. Kama, krodha, lobha. Then mother, matsara, kama, krodha, moha. Mother, matsara, moha. These three. Mada is excessive pride or arrogance, or a sense of feeling ecstasy of your own supremacy. That is mada. Ecstasy, intoxicated about your wealth or something which you actually don't own. Mada, and that creates a lot of um, I should say, you will become separate. People will not like it. It will push people away. That mother, they can sense it. You are in that inebriated state, so people will not come. Mother, moha is ignorance. That is delusion, ignorance. You cannot see beyond your comfort, your wealth, your position, your power. That is moha. And the third, matsarya, jealousy. So these three he told. Now he is telling, Yaha Shastra Vidhim Utsrujya. So first he said, give up those. Now he says another a little simpler. Cheng bitkododu. How to give up lust, how to give up anger. Follow the rules. Shastram Vidhim Utsrujya Vartate Kamakarataha. One who setting aside the ordinance of Shastras, that means guidelines, right? Acts under the impulse of desire. Let it be rules, and I don't care. Then what I want, I will do. Kamakarataha. He gives his mind to the desire and ignores the law of the land, code of conduct, and the guideline, Shastra. We'll see what is that Shastra. Sa na siddhim avapnoti. One who setting aside the ordinance of Shastras acts under impulse of desire. Na siddhim. Siddhim means perfection, or towards this divinity, attains not to perfection nor happiness. Na sa siddhim avapnoti, na sukham, na paramgatim. No happiness in the, we were talking about this well-being, no, that it will not come, and nor he will get the perfection. One is health and all that. Another thing is evolution, that also is not there. And paramgatim, no paramgatim. When these two are not there, what to speak about liberation or obtaining Krishna? So here he is insisting on following the Shastra. So Shastra means, last section, I think Bhagavad Purana we were discussing. Shastras means it is a word of science, you can say. Based on observations, people have drafted these scriptures. And these scriptures, it will tell us in which direction we should go. Otherwise, how do we know? Even Brahma, when he was created from the, they say, Vishnu, the Parabrahman creates Vishnu. From Vishnu, from his umbilicus comes a stem, and then there's a lotus. From there comes Brahma. And Brahma doesn't see anybody. And he doesn't know what to do. He's born, he opens his eyes, he doesn't know what to do. Somewhere he hears tapas. Then he will just keep talking tapas, 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 anta hogtane. He keeps doing it for years together because that's the only thing he hears. And he follows. He doesn't question. When he doesn't know that what should I do andaga, something I have heard, let me follow. So idu obedience irtadala, the followership irtadala, adanna ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ follow ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, if we bend down and take the signals and act accordingly with faith, even if you experiment also, it's no harm, but follow something. That is what he's telling. Shastras are, they give good directions to life. What are these Shastras like? They are of two types. One is Smriti. Smriti andre guidelines. Smriti means from, of course, it by word meaning says by memory, but it is written by learned people as scriptures such as Puranas, Itihasas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Manusmriti. All these are scriptures. Puranas, basic Purana, Itihasa, Manusmriti, all these come under Smritis. They have written, and it's called Smriti. Another one is Shruti. Shravana is actually listening, but Shrutis are like Vedas, Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita. Now, Smritis are, this is important because what does Krishna mean by Shastra? What should we follow? Should we follow Smriti or we should follow Shruti? Bhagavad Gita is a Shruti. Bhagavad Purana is a Smriti. The difference between these two is many rishis, jnanis, no, they sit And they write these pictures so that, why do they write? So that they want to help, uh, they want to help others. Otherwise, why should they do? They can sit and do their sadhana, no? The rishis and all those. If you remember Bhagavad Purana, we said in Naimisharanya, they are performing yaga yajna for thousands of years. Why are they doing? Because Kali Yuga will come, people are there. We should pray for, we should have vibes for people, because in Kali Yuga, they are all alpa buddhi, they don't know. And out of compassion, they do that. That is Smriti. So they all sit and write glories of God, everything. As they write what they do, they also write certain norms that are to be followed by different classes of people. But when they do that, those are usually applicable to people in that period, yugukke, that era, all that. For example, Payovritas, it is told by ನಾರದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಶ್ಯಪ ಮುನಿ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆದಿತಿ ಡೂ ಪಯೋವೃತ ಅಂತ. ಅವಳೊಂದು ವೃತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮುಟ್ತಾಳೆ, ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ, ಉಪವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಶಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟುಡೇ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ or whatever, our own profession, or even homemakers, they will have so many responsibilities. Will that be applicable? No. But if you go to Shruti, Bhagavad Gita, what does it say? Every action, do it as karma yoga. So idu Shruti is applicable universally across all the ages. Any manvantara you take, any yuga you take, truth, speak the truth. Any human being can get into asuri bhava and tell lies. Any human ಅಂತ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಅಸುರಿ ದೈವಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎನಿ ಎರಾ ಯು ಟೇಕ್, ರಾಕ್ಷಸರು, ಅಸುರಿ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತವ್ರು, ಕೈಕೇಯಿ ಮಂಥರೆ ಅಂತವ್ರು ರಾಮಾಯಣದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದ್ರು. ಆ ಶಕುನಿ ಅಂತವನು ದ್ವಾಪರ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದ್ದ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ಲೆಂಟಿ ಇನ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಸೊ it is applicable across. Therefore, Shruti we have to follow. Among the Shastras, Shruti, and because we should follow both Smriti and Shruti. If you see Narada, whatever he has spoken, he has told to Yudhishthira. If you remember, in one, it is there on YouTube. How do I become? How do I develop good attitude? ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಯುಧಿಷ್ಠಿರ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ನಾರದರಿಗೆ. ನಾರದರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. There also he brings about some 30 qualities. He tells what all you should be to become a human being, good human being. They are similar to Daivi Sampat. They are similar to Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter. Here, Smriti and Shruti are agreeing. But in some places, that Smriti, whatever is told in Purana, may not be agreeable. For example, I am quoting from Swami Ranganathanandaji's commentary and my references. So, Swami Ranganathanji has told in one of the Smritis, it talks about untouchability. Muttbardu, Shudran Varnashrama, Muttbardu. Bhagavad Gita talks about Varnashrama, but it doesn't talk about hierarchy. Bhagavad Gita talks about that, and he says all are same, isn't it? All are same, it says. And so there it agrees. There is a contradiction. While Smriti says hierarchy, untouchable, Shudrana muttbardu, adu ಮಾಡಬಾರದು, ಇದು ಮಾಡಬಾರದು, ಅದು Bhagavad Gita ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. All are manifestations of the divine, Bhagavad Gita says. So they say there is one, if there is such contradiction from Shruti and Smriti, then you must follow Shruti because it is universal. So he has written very nice statement. Shruti Smriti virodhetu Shrutihi eva gariyasi. Gari means higher. If there is virodha, means contradiction between the Puranas and, let's say, Bhagavad Gita or Vedas, you should follow the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita and not the Smritis if there is contradiction. Because also it means that while writing Smriti, Puranas and all that, maybe some people would have given some statements which was beneficial to a particular class of people, particular group of people. We cannot rule out the selfish nature of human beings, as I said, in any era. Therefore, Smritis are for guidance, but they are not absolute. Very beautiful information we got from this chapter from Swami Jagadatmananji and others also I have heard. Ranganathananji, sorry. and I have referred others also. There is a Veda Vichar. There's so many blogs are there on the internet. They have given column wise uh, differences between Smriti and Shruti. And I really felt very good that Bhagavad Gita is a Shruti and is an eternal truth. Bhagavad Gita applies to anybody, it can be tested and it will be proved right. There is rationality, and whole world should follow actually, irrespective of, it is not religion, it is humane performance, it is for humanity. So they say like that. And also Ramakrishna Mission people, particularly you see his lectures, Swami Ranganathananji, he also says, now Shastras means not only this Bhagavad Purana and all. There are other Shastras. We have guidelines for everything, isn't it? For example, he says dietary guidelines. Ayurveda says, even if you don't want to follow, if you are not, Ayurveda is ideal. Actually, it is a Veda. And Ayurveda is one of the best science. I have shared in my blog also. And little bit I started reading. The way they have understood a human body and mind, human body, my body mind complex. Today we are talking about psycho social, what is that? What do we call that? How the mind can influence, or how the stress can influence various diseases like peptic ulcer, or endocrine disorders, and so many branches came up.
Psychosomatic diseases.
I was not getting that somatic, psychosomatic illnesses we are speaking. And from psychosomatic, now they have evolved at the mechanisms. They say psycho, neuro, immunology. How psycho affects the neurons, neurons affects the immune system. Then they said psycho, neuro, endocrino-immunology, how the endocrine system, and then diabetes and other endocrine systems, PCOD, are supposed to, they have linked with stress, so many advancement. But this is already told in Ayurveda, and we have text, and we have closed it in the lot of insights we can get actually. That can be a good Shastra for us. We can work on that. So he says diet, for example, has been Ayurveda. Okay, let's leave that. We have guidelines for management of treatment, isn't it? We have Diabetes Association guidelines. We have hypertension guidelines. So if we follow that, because that is based on some evidence, and if we believe that, there are what I should say, stories how guidelines are done, that apart. If we truly believe, because particularly ADA, I checked on the net, every year they are revising. American Diabetes Association, every year there is a revision based on the evidence they get. So there are some associations which are genuinely interested. If we follow that, then it is good, very, very good. So like the constitution, it defines certain rights and responsibilities. So we must follow the Shastras not only for human development, but it is also for the society for in which we live, and society with which we are connected also. Now, if we are medically connected or socially connected, or we are an economics group, whichever is applicable, and we must try to bring that awareness among people that everybody should follow. Leave alone constitution, other those traffic rules, if everybody follows, how good it would be. So like that, he says, following the rules and regulations itself is a divine quality. How beautiful he says. Yaha Shastra with him. And so if you don't do that, he says, if you don't do, that person who doesn't do, Andre, you must follow, and you must follow. If he doesn't do, then he will not get perfection, isn't it? Always we may say, I am giving examples from what we are doing. Clinical practice, if we don't follow, I have my own patients, I have something, and okay, fine, but have a system there. And that is based on something, no, from textbook or from your experience, something is there, something to guide on. Ila ivat manasi bandang ivattondu treatment, naalondu treatment, rich people gondu, poor people gondu, without understanding, without being very rational in our treatment. If we do that, then it means that we are not following the Shastra or Shruti. Smriti or Shruti. Shastra doesn't mean the guidelines pakka. Even the Shruti means in the interest of the patient. Bhagavad Gita, Vedas and all, they speak about in true interest of the patient. So when we are truly interested, genuinely interested in whatever work we do it truthfully. That means we are following the Bhagavad Gita or Vedas. So, but if we give way to our you know desires and for our selfishness, then it means that we are not we will not get siddhi, we will not get perfection, we will not get happiness also. Mind will be restless and we will not get paramgati. In Kannada there is Kannada ಬರೋರಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲಿ, but I will translate. uh, ಇಲ್ಲಿ my friend used to tell, I told you, I had very good mentors in Dharwad long back. ಮರ್ತ್ಯಲೋಕವೆಂಬುದು ಕರ್ತಾರನ ಕಮ್ಮಟವಯ್ಯ means mortal world is creator's workshop. This mortal world, this world is a workshop. That means we are learning something here. Illi salluvaru alliyu salluvarayya. Andre if we may say, oh, I will do puja, I will do meditation, I'll think about Krishna, I'll do japa, everything, then I will get heaven or I will attain paramgatim. No, it's not like that. He says illi salladavaru alliyu sallarayya. If you are people fitting here will fit there too, people who don't fit here will not fit there also. Krishna has made very clear, यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः सच मे प्रिय अद्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕೂಡದು, ಮೈತ್ರಃ ಬಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಲಿ, ಕರುಣಃ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನೇಟ್. So if you are that, then you are my bhakta. I will not accept you, because for him everybody is his children, no? So how can we have animosity with our neighbors or people around and say I am Krishna's devotee? They are just contradictory. So he says follow the, then how, what should I do? A new person who is not exposed to any of these, what is the hope for him? Follow the Shastra. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡು, ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡು, ವೇದ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡು, ಪುರಾಣವನ್ನು ಓದು. Purana will complement the Bhagavad Gita. We cannot condemn the Puranas at all. But only when there is a contradiction, then you follow Shruti. Shruti eva gariyasi. The word Sanatana Dharma, he says, or eternal Dharma, is based on Shruti. Swami Ranganathananji says, Shruti is the one. Truth. It is truth. It is impartial. It is unbiased. It will not favor any class of people, caste of people. It doesn't differentiate anybody. Highly impartial. But these stories come in Purana also. How people of different cadres become very good devotees. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಪುರಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ. Mostly it follows, but there are some areas where it doesn't follow. Therefore he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte Karya Akarya Vyavasthitav Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iha Arhasi. So let the Shastras be your authority in ascertaining what should be done and what should not be done. Having known what is said in the Shastra, you should act in the world. Clearly, Krishna says, our mind is limited, our buddhi is limited. Shastra is the best guide for us. So everybody should follow. Handbook now, professionally ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, reference books, up to date ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, reference ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. What does the guideline say ಅಂತೀವಿ? We refer the literature and see how I should manage my patients or manage anything that is there. Law also. If you see a lawyer's house, so many books are there. Every profession has a guideline. Without guideline, no profession will thrive. Ideally, it should not. Nobody can perform. They will be held responsible. All ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, rules follow ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. Rules follow ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ everybody would be in jail. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Then why not for the life? So there is, we have to follow. But people are there, defaulters are there. I and you may not be. Mostly we follow, but defaulters are there everywhere. Here, if you're a defaulter, then it will affect your happiness. It will affect your future. It will affect your evolution. So, tasmat shastram pramanate. Your pramana, your source of knowledge is Shastra. Your pramana, your source of, let me see what I'm thinking, is it correct or not? Bhagavad Gita, it says correct. You are right. Take action against somebody. Keep quiet. Excuse them. Everything is given. As you evolve, your interpretation will come to you from within. You need not depend for the interpretation. These books are also very good. Please, all of you can buy this Bhagavad Gita by Swami Ranganathananda. It is there in the Ramakrishna Ashrami. Online you will get, Amazon. So, These guidelines are this one, and simplified work books are there in Ramakrishna Ashram. Beautiful. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಪುರುಷೋತ್ತಮಾನಂದಜಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮೈ ಗುರುಸ್ ಗುರು ಈಸ್. So these Chinmayanandaji andre Ramakrishna Ashram, Swami Nirbhayanandaji, so many videos how to bring up children and ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸುವುದೇ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. Mostly he speaks in Kannada because he is more into rural development. He lives in Gadag. He comes here. In fact, he will be visiting us day after tomorrow. So books are his guru. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಾಗಿ. ಲೆಟರ್ ಟು ಅ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಜಗದಾತ್ಮಾನಂದಜಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈಸೂರು, ಬದುಕಲು ಕಲಿಯಿರಿ ಅಂತ 2 volumes. How to live. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್. All taken from these shastras only, from Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Swami Vivekananda. ಆಮೇಲೆ Ramakrishna Vachana Veda. What examples he gives. These are all our shastras now. For today, Grihastha Dharma, Sreshta Dharma. Householder's life is the highest because so much of sacrifice is there. We're all householders. You need not be sanya. How to lead a good householder's life. Such beautiful books are written, and these books will become our guide. Complete works of Swami Vivekananda, 9 volumes available online. Please buy them. Yen beautiful literature. Upanishad Sara and the books there. Please visit Ramakrishna Ashram in Baswangudi, and you will get plenty of books. You will go mad. There used to be CDs and all. Now you get everything on YouTube. And so, there are speakers on the YouTube also. They are so much interested to connect with where we are. Acharya Prashant Anthodri is also a very good speaker. IIT, IIM is. And he has started Acharya Prashant Advaita Center, Advaita Mission or something like that. What a beautiful. So there is no dearth of Shastras, but there should be a willingness to refer to them. We are all following. Now you people and our team, we are following Shastras and we are trying to go according to the Shastras. So, but this one, we can increase our habit of reading every day. If you are already doing, I'm sure most of you would be doing it, little bit of time. Or at least whenever we are in dilemma, no, we can open these and see. Praman means, is there any basis, reference for this, isn't it? We always see for reference, no, even in our profession. So like that, we will see for reference. And then we say, okay, maybe, and it really, really, really helps, I tell you. Because you open this Gita's, I don't know whether I have experienced this. You open that any, randomly when you are in dilemma, you open, and that shloka will be applicable for that situation. Somehow it has been like that so far for me, right? So we should be in that. So Shastras, so he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte Karya Akarya. What should be done is as important. We should know what we should do, and we should also know what we should not do. Matadodu, filter what we speak in a group of this one, how it hurts, being aware of that. What should not be spoken, what should be spoken. As we said, when to use that Daivi Sampat, when we should speak truth. I gave example of that Rishi. He told lies to protect Dharma. So Ashwathama Hutaha, very good example in Mahabharata. Ashwathama died. Anta Dronacharya ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮೊರೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಭೀಮನ್ ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮಹಾಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ. So they tell lies, but it is for protection of dharma. So what not to do, what to do, when to do, adella karya akarya vyavastito. It will tell you what should be done, what not to be done in a very organized way. Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam, having known what is said in the ordinance of Shastra, you should act in the world. You should act in the world. So, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮಂದಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೆಫರಿಂಗ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಅದು ಇದೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪುರಾಣ ಮೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಪೂಜಾ, ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಪೂಜಾ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ವಿಧಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ದಿಸ್, ಇದನ್ ಮೊದ್ಲು ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಯಾರು ಹಾಕದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಗೆದ್ದು ಬೈದ್ಬಿಡೋದು. Next chapter deals with that. Arjuna's exact question is the same thing, which follows these actually. So adu one. What the Shruti says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Krishna says, don't worry about that rituals. You give me leaf, you give me water, you give me this, I am happy. Anta Shruti ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Smriti tells you sometimes, you not always, but Shraddha, this kind of devotion is not given mostly. They describe more of ritualistic, you hang maridu. That's good. It's not at all bad. Shruti says like that. Now people can misinterpret both. ಈಗ ಪತ್ರಂ ಪುಷ್ಪಂ ಫಲಂ ತೋಯಂ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ people should also understand that because I may not be able to give so much time, but I love God, I will offer him water or some kalsakre kotbittu. I will pray with full devotion. That is how we have to interpret patram pushpam phalam toyam. He says, give me a leaf, give me a flower, just a flower, uh, or a small fruit, or just water also. That is enough. But Shraddha, he says you should give it with a lot of devotion. That is more important than following rituals. But if we can take to our advantage, say, no, 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 I don't believe in rituals. Andre laziness agbaradu. If you have time, even doing puja with Shraddha, giving flower, putting a mala, putting a dhupa, deepa, cleanly, everything, rituals, if you follow, it's not bad. Ultimately, the devotion matters. So you have to interpret both in the rightmost way, not to suit your laziness or other, that's how it says karya akarya vyavasthita. You should interpret also in the rightmost way these shrutis. So that is the last shloka of this one. So uh, uh, the whole this thing iti daivasura sampad vibhaga yogo nama shodashodhyaya. This is 16th chapter. Daiva Asuri Sampat Vibhaga Yoro. So the summary is we have uh, 26 divine qualities and I think 12 Asuri qualities. And let's be aware of that and let us follow one by one. In fact, they become interrelated and they complement each other. This one brings happiness and what I should say, it may not bring that absolute bliss, which is liberation, but definitely it goes beyond happiness. It gives us the ability to withstand so many challenges in life because this itself gives us the power. It strengthens us. In Bhagavad Purana, we discussed one story of Ambarish, where he is such a nice king. He follows all the Shastras, and that's Smriti and Shruti. He is very loving, very compassionate, very shrewd at times. Whatever is good for the state, for dharma, he practices, but very devoted. Almost 24 hours he is thinking of Narayana, Narayana, Krishnan ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೆನೆಸ್ತಿರ್ತಾನ. And pleased with his devotion, Vishnu gives him Sudarshan Chakra. He gives antandre, it is not that actual Sudarshan Chakra, but his devotion, his Daivi Sampat, whatever he has acquired, that gives him that much of power, in fact, to face the wrath of Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni sittiಗೆದ್ದು, ನೀನು ವ್ರತ ಮುರಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿ, I was to come, still you had water. Ekadashi Vrata Murdi, Dwadashi Vrata. You should have waited. Actually, Durvasa would have come there feeling he would have come there to have spent some time. He says, you have food, today is Dwadashi. ಆಯ್ತು ಸ್ನಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗೋ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ಕಳೀತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So Ambarisha wants to break that vow and also not displease Durvasa, not to follow adharma with respect to Rishi. But what he does is he takes water. Durvasa, in a fit of anger and jealousy, because Ambarisha would have become very popular for his devotion. So he's about to curse when Sudarshan Chakra follows him. That's what is described. Andre, it with that burning sensation he gets and he runs helter-skelter to every place, and then he goes to Hari also, and Hari tells him, go and fall at the devotee's feet. Andre, devotee becomes as powerful as the Lord himself when we follow this divine qualities. It makes you so, when you see, if it can give the ability, the power to Ambarisha to fight with a great Rishi like Durvasa. You can imagine, we don't get as big challenges as Durvasa, no, in day-to-day life. We also have Durvasas at home and outside, but not as powerful as Durvasa. So whatever challenges you have, the devotion will give the power and it will chase them. They will start running. So this is a very good hope for us to survive. That devotion should be very, very strong. And qualities, devotion, the qualities, the divine qualities we should work on. And people will not dare to disturb. Leave alone attacking, they will not even dare, because ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದು inner strength, and its quantum energy that comes out, that will be so powerful that itself you need not even speak. Your presence itself with those qualities will make them feel less powerful. So even if they have come to hurt you or show their power, you are least bothered, because you are secured within yourself, because your goal is to become divine. Our goal is not to enter into petty things. Of course, our goal is to handle such people. But when we start working on ourselves, itself it gives us the power. So that completes chapter 16. Now we can go to, it's already 7:30. We can start from the this one from the next session. We can start in the next class we can have. So any discussions on this we can take up, and then we'll wind up. I don't think we can, but I will just introduce you to the first shloka. Very interesting. In this, Arjuna asks, very beautiful. See, he also thinks like us only, or we think like him. I don't know. Ye Shastra vidhim utsrujya. Okay, Krishna, you told no, we have to follow Shastra. But there may be some people who will not, who will set aside Shastra, but they have lot of Shraddha. Patram Pushpam ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ, exactly say. They have lot of Shraddha. They consider that Shraddha itself is a very powerful thing. With that they do, leaving Shastra. What is their condition? Is it Sattva, Rajas, Tamas? Andre Shraddhainda Madoru, usually Asuri comes in Tamas Buddhi, Rajasic, extreme Rajasic to Tamasic. So he says, are they Sattvic people then? Shastra bit Hirdorashte Sattvika, Atva Shastra bittenu Sattvika Agboda anta he will ask. So we will discuss more, and the whole chapter is on threefold Shraddha. It's about completely about Shraddha. Shraddha means what we actually believe in. It determines my personality. What I believe in decides my personality. Very beautiful it is. Shraddha. You will have different, we as a group may have one Shraddha. There may be another group, another type of category of people which will have another Shraddha, and third. So that is very interesting. What we believe in, what they believe in, and what another category believes in. So that is the chapter 17. And we are coming to the end of Bhagavad Gita sessions. Actually, 2 more chapters to go. So there I conclude. Shnarpanamastu. You can, if you have anything to discuss or add, or your views. Anything? Padmaja, you have